Manchester United 3, Leicester City 0. Yes, and we are starting to cook, baby. It was a tale of two halves, basically. The first half wasn't that great, but the second half we came alive and we started to cook. We started to sizzle. Goals from Rashford, 2 goals from Rashford actually, and 1 goal from Jadon Sancho. And it was Jadon Sancho coming on in the second half that changed the damn game. The guy just started to sauce it. He sourced it. He changed the game in the second half, and we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about Rashford. We're going to talk about Sabitzer. Today, for me, felt like Sabitzer's best game in a Man United shirt so far this season. Are Man United a second half team? We saw the stats about scoring goals in the last 15 minutes. We've done it the most. It seems to me that Man United are a second half team, and we're going to talk about why that is. Why? What's happening? What's going on? There is a lot to talk about. Squad rotation, yes, Ten Hag rotated the squad, and we had Lindelof and Martinez starting today. What does it mean for Maguire? Who knows? There is a lot to talk about today. If you're not today, as usual, guys, before we get into the game, and it was a good game to watch. Before we get into the game, turn on the remote. Before we get into the game, smash the like, turn on the notifications, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do the damn thing, guys. Subscribe below. Brand new channel where we just talk about football. We just talk about the game. That's all. After the game happens, we come here and we have a chat about the game. Pure and simple. So let's do the damn thing, guys. Let's do the damn thing. First of all, let's just have a brief chat about the lineup. Go through the team. Of course, we have the goalkeeper, De Gea. Like I said, Lindelof and Martinez starting today. What does it mean for Maguire? We have seen Maguire start games anyway, so maybe I'm overdoing it or overthinking it. However, is it me, or does he choose Lindelof over Maguire most of the time? If I asked you who was United's top 3 centre-backs, so first choice centre-back pairing in order, I would think, I would put Maguire as 4th. Perhaps even 5th behind Luke Shaw, because even Luke Shaw is chosen ahead of Maguire a lot of times as a centre-back. It's something to think about in terms of what Ten Hag is thinking. We know Maguire is not going to survive Ten Hag ball. We know this. This is a football channel. And we understand football on this channel. He's not going to survive Ten Hag ball. But at this point, he's 4th or 5th choice for me. That's what it seems like. If you disagree, let me know if you disagree, guys. But that's the centre-back pairing. Dalot started today with Luke Shaw on the left. We had Sabitzer and Fred in the midfield. And that's what I want to talk about, guys, because in my previous videos, I've said to you that Fred and Sabitzer do not work. They don't work. They're very similar type of footballers. They're very reactionary. They're not the sort of DMs that will understand that danger is unfolding, so let's fall back and cover the spaces. They're more reactionary players. They're kind of players that don't sense the smoke before it turns into the fire. They see the fire and they react to the fire. They react to players. They engage. Sometimes we need a DM to understand. You need to fall back. You need to sweep up. They're not DMs. They're basically not DMs. And it just didn't work when I saw them play. When I've seen them play in the last 2-3 games, they just didn't work. There isn't understanding. There isn't that somebody who's got the ability to play deep, to drop a shoulder. They're not press resistant either. So I don't think they work for those reasons and many other reasons I can give. I can give many other reasons, but we can see that it doesn't work. We're not as fluid. They're not that great. They're not as good on the ball as someone like Eriksen is, or even Casemiro. They're really good on the ball, really good passes off the ball. Fred is, and Fred can be, but he's not as good as Casemiro on the ball, and we know that. So we're missing something when they play. We are, and it's evident today. So I don't think that midfield works. But however, saying that, if it can work, it will only work if one of them is really disciplined, and they just do that thing where listen, if you go, you sit, that sort of thing. And I think today maybe Sabitzer played a bit more reserved than Fred, which may be a good thing. But that was the midfield. Bruno played, of course. Garnacho and Rashford started with Weghorst up front. And the one thing we've all noticed, and we've spoken about on this channel as well, is Weghorst playing as a number 10. He dropped deep a few games ago. Ten Hag now is more persistent with Weghorst dropping deeper and essentially playing number 10 role. And it seems to me that Ten Hag prefers someone who can hold the ball up playing number 10, right? Bruno can't do that. Bruno doesn't really hold the ball up when he plays number 10. And technically speaking, and you know, this is a football channel and we will know this. We all know this. Even though Bruno can play number 10, he's not a number 10. He's technically also a box-to-box midfielder. That is what Bruno Fernandes is, but he just plays that number 10 role. For me, he's not the type of number 10 that I like. He's not. And I think Ten Hag agrees. Bruno Fernandes loses the ball a bit too much, and that's probably why Ten Hag moves him out to the wide positions and brings a Weghorst, or as we're going to talk about later on in the video, he brings on Jadon Sancho to play that role because their ball retention, let's call it that, their ball retention is better than Bruno's ball retention. Let's just say that, right? So that was a team. Rotated the squad. We need to rotate the squad. We got plenty of games left. We're in all 4 competitions still, United. So we need to rotate the squad. So that's fine. But Leicester started well. Leicester were the better team. They settled better than we did. And I was a bit nervous because Barnes should have scored within the first 7 minutes. Let's be honest. He should have scored within the first 7 minutes. It was a good save from De Gea. Then 2 minutes later, I think Iñárritu had a left foot chance. Leicester were the team that started controlling the game first. They're the team that, you know, had the initiative. They're the team that were the first to the ball. They were more aggressive. They were more intense than we were. We didn't start well. We weren't ready. We never do. I've said this many times. We start the game well in terms of being able to control possession a lot of the times, but there's sometimes a lack of intensity in the way we started, and today was no different. Leicester started the most intense, and they were running our midfield ragged, and this is, of course, leads into the conversation about our midfield again. Within the first 15, 20 minutes, they had chance after chance after chance. And it was because our midfield was so easy to bypass. Once again, it's taken Fred and it's taken Sabitzer time to find a cohesion, to understand when to press, when not to press, and when to drop and when not to drop, and all these things. And there is, especially in the first 20 minutes, they were just nervous on the ball. They were just very rash with the ball. Every time they received the ball, they were just lack so much composure on it. Whereas someone like Casemiro or Eriksen wouldn't have lacked that composure, you know? Would have been more calm on the ball. But yeah, Iñárritu had a free header from Barnes' cross, an absolutely free header from Barnes' cross, and should have scored, but great save from De Gea. And it's almost as if that chance kicked United into gear a little bit. We started to get hold of the ball. We started to pass it a bit more. We started to gain confidence. And speaking of Sabitzer, it was Sabitzer winning the ball high up the field that led to our first goal. It was Sabitzer who won the ball up half the field, gave the ball to Bruno. Bruno, first time pass to Rashford. Rashford threw on goal, right foot shot into the bottom corner. And I guess that's the benefits for me. And we can see in that move, clearly we can see the benefit of having Bruno Fernandes on the right. Because Bruno is that sort of player, he's that Hollywood player. He wants to do that Hollywood pass all the time. And sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you need to keep hold of the ball. Just keep hold of the ball. And that's why Ten Hag might prefer a Weghorst in the middle that can do that. Whereas somebody on the right-hand side, on the right wing, he can lose the ball. That's in a less dangerous position. He can do all that spamming, all that hero ball, all that, Hollywood passing, first time passing on the right-hand side. But in the middle of the pitch, not so much, because sometimes having 60% possession of the ball, playing in the middle, playing in the spine, having 60% possession is not a good thing. Doing that on the wings it's okay, So that's also one of the reasons why Bruno's playing out there. And one thing that Bruno's very good at, it's a curse, you could argue, but it's also a benefit. He plays football at 100 miles an hour. At 100 miles an hour, right? So his ability to do that first time pass is really good. But sometimes he does it when he should take time. Sometimes he plays football too quickly. Sometimes he just needs another touch. Sometimes he needs to settle himself, but he just plays it 100 miles an hour sometimes. So it's a good thing in the situations where when we need it to happen, when we need him to play that pass quickly, but often when we need a bit more composure on the ball, he gives the ball away a bit too much. But great goal, great tenacity from Sabitzer, great ball from Bruno. He had a good game today, Bruno Fernandes. I'm one of his biggest critics, but I will praise him when he's played well, and he's having a decent season. Good goal from Rashford. The kid's on fire. The kid's feeling good. He's confident, and that's the main thing. When Rashford is an instinctive player. That's what he is. When he's confident, he's playing well. When he's not confident, he doesn't play well. As long as he's confident, let's keep making him smile, keep making him point to his head. He's using his brain apparently a bit more, so keep using his brain. Let's go, Rashford. Let's go, man. Let's show them. I've been one of Rashford's biggest critics. The last 2 seasons, he's been crap. Rubbish. But with a little bit of coaching, you can see he's now heading the ball. He's not closing his eyes when he's heading the ball now. He can just head the ball with confidence. He's improving some of the basic fundamentals of his game that I criticized him for. He still has his deficiencies like any other footballer does. Still has parts of his game that frustrate me, that will always frustrate me. He will still not good against low blocks. He doesn't really partake in the middle or in the middle third or in a build up as such. He's a last action player. He's a final third player. Like a Mo Salah. He's not like a Messi or Neymar who can grab the ball from the middle or centre circle. He's not that sort of player, and he never will be. I can't force him to be something that he's not. But boy, is this kid feeling and looking good right now. He's scoring goals, and he's scoring goals when it matters. He's scoring goals when it matters, when we need him to score goals. And he's scoring different types of goals as well. That's also a good thing. He's scoring different types of goals. Once you know how to score that little dink with your right foot over the keeper, you've got it locked now. You know how to score it. Once you've been in a situation where, once you've been and scored goals in many situations, it's like a memory lock. Keep scoring different variety of goals and you keep getting better. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, good goal. United had another chance straight afterwards. Dallow's chance, man. Flipping it, Dallow should have scored once again. I don't know why he went with his right foot rather than his left, but he should have scored. But great pass again by Bruno. Once again, the benefits of having Bruno Fernandes playing out wide on the right-hand side. He can do that. Good cross from Bruno. Good game. Decent. The first half was good. It was decent, but the second half was better. Fred didn't have a really good first half for me. And I don't know if this is a running thing for Fred. In the last 2 or 3 games, he's had really bad first halves. And then, as we're going to talk about, really good second halves. So, I don't know what's going on, but we're going to talk about it. So, yeah, second half now. So, for me, the most important thing for me in the second half is the fact that Sancho came on for Garnacho, because I haven't even mentioned Garnacho in my thoughts. I'm not even thinking about Garnacho. I don't remember Garnacho doing anything of note, and this will happen this will happen, guys, with the kid. Stop making songs up about people who score just 1 or 2 goals. Stop doing it. Let's wait and see. We are so reactionary as a fan base. He's only a kid. He's only, 18, 19 or something. He's going to have really bad games and he's going to have really good games. Just relax before we start talking about the next Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's not do that, please. Let the kid be himself. Let the kid be him. Let him grow. Because I'm still not convinced that Garnacho is going to be that guy for what we want to be as the best football club in the world. For what we are now, perhaps, but for what we want to be in terms of the best in the world. That's our target. He's young, so I can't put a ceiling on him yet. But I'm wondering, does he have the footballing IQ yet? Footballing IQ you can develop. The more games you play, the more you understand the game. So that's why I'm not too quick to say, oh, he's going to be good. No, I'm just saying, let's just wait and see. Let's continue to watch the kid. Let's continue to see him develop. But he didn't have a good first half. He was non-existent, and Sancho coming on changed the game. He changed the game. Bruno fully moved on over to the right. Rashford moved over to the left, which is his natural, for me, his best position. Weghorst went up front, and Sancho came in, and Sancho was number 10, and Sancho playing number 10 position showed why I said he's not a number 10. Sancho is more of a number 10 than Bruno is, in my opinion, in terms of what I think a number 10 should be. Think of the number 10s like the natural number 10s, like the Messis and the Eden Hazards and the Neymars. Those are all number 10s I've mentioned. Hazard, Messi, Neymar. Sancho's closer to those players than Bruno is. Bruno is that midfield, sort of like Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard. Let's play those players in the number 10 position because they can pass the ball and they can shoot. He's that sort of number 10. I don't like that kind of number 10. I like the saucy flair number 10. I like the João Felix number 10 that can dribble with the ball and skip past a player and make things happen, can dink. Because those players, they're more threatening. That's what number 10 should be. It should be, as soon as number 10 gets the ball, you should be so scared that the guy could go left, the guy could go right. He's like Ronaldinho. You can, that's what I think a number 10 should be. So Sancho playing in that position, and also Sancho's ball retention is better than Bruno's. We saw in the second half, we just kept the ball better with the kid as number 10. We had a chance in the 48th minute from, I think, Luke Shaw's free kick. Martinez rose really highly, actually. Good header. You can argue maybe he should have done better with the header, Martinez, but the header hit the crossbar. We started cooking, man. We started warming up. And even though it's 1-0, I thought to myself, do you know what? We can make this 2-3-0 if we continue sizzling. If we continue playing like this, this could be a nice result for us. And then we had another chance. Weghorst tried an overhead kick a few minutes later. Weghorst had a few chances today, and we're going to talk about Weghorst later on, but Weghorst had a few chances today. It's not clicking for Weghorst, and I'm not seeing the quality in his finishing that I expect or that I thought I would see. Let's just keep it as that. I'm not seeing it yet. But his all-round game, the way he's contributing to the team, he is contributing. And we're going to talk about that as well later on. But United scored a second goal. It was another goal from Marcus Rashford. Good goal again. A nice side foot finish. Who was put through by Fred. And that's what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about Fred. But first and foremost, let's look at the goal. A nice right side foot finish. And once again, that goal was different to the goal he scored before. And the goal he scored in the last game when he scored near post, and the goal he scored in I think 2 games back when he jumped with a header. He's scoring different goals now, and that's what a finisher is. A finisher, for me, a finisher is someone who can score goals in many different situations. But one of my criticisms of Rashford before was the fact that he could only score goals when his body was set perfectly. When he's through on goal, playing against a high line, his body is set perfectly, slot it through. But when he's off balance or something else, or in a situation where he has to readjust his body, he's not that sort of striker. He's not that Aguero. He's not like it's going to come off my shin. I'm going to make it come off my shoulder. I'm going to score with any part of my body. He's not that guy. But now we're seeing a more fluidity or variety in his strikes, in his goals, and in the type of goals he's scoring is making me feel confident that he's now growing as a striker. And that's what you want to see. So kudos to Rashford once again. But Fred, put through by Fred, he had a much better second half, Fred. A much better second half. And that is what I'm saying with Fred. It's weird. Last few games with him, he's had bad first halves and good second halves. Fred, we need to have good first halves and second halves, man. We can't be doing that. So next game, he got subbed later on for Scott McTominay, but he needs it's hard to. It's weird because he got an assist today and he played well in the second half. So, but I have to criticize him and say we have to have better first half, Freds. We have to, you know. But like I said, Fred got subbed off for Scott McTominay. But the second half was so good. It was so good to watch United, guys. Like passing the ball around, moving it. Sancho in the midfield. And Sancho's goal today was just summed up his performance when he came on and how United looked with him. Everything going through him. It was just... And his thing is, he can go left or right. He can move left or right and occupy so many different spaces. If we continue with this Sancho playing number 10 thing, it's going to be hard for defenders to pick him up. He's going to be a handful because his goal summed it up. Good movement from Rashford. Rashford started the move, actually. Gave it to Sancho. Sancho fed it to Bruno. Good 1-2 between Sancho and Bruno. Smash. Good goal. That's the kind of goal that you see Arsenal score. And those are the kind of goals, and I've said it in my previous videos, we have to stop doing rely on someone to skip past two players. We're still doing a lot of individual goals. You know, we still need individual goals. You know, Arsenal scored the individual goals. Jorginho smashed the ball against a crossbar. You know, like every team is going to score those goals, of course. But the more we can rely on team goals, the less we can rely on individuals pulling out rabbits out of the hat, which is hard to do. It's hard to just get the ball and smash it into the top corner. So the more we can start doing goals where all the guy has to do is literally tap the ball into the net, the better. Great goal. That was my favourite goal of the game. Rashford and Shaw came off for Elanga and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And we just kept playing well. The game, we just kept moving it, passing well. Leicester in the first half, they posed a decent threat. But in the second half, we took the game away from them. And after the second goal went in, really, they didn't really pose a threat. Our defenders defended well, didn't really give them a sniff. In the second half, Sabitzer and Fred, they got hold of the ball a bit more. They gained confidence to start playing better. I still don't think it really works. And like I said, against better opposition, it won't work because Casemiro will have to be brought in. But Weghorst should have scored. Later on as well. He had chances in the first half to score. And I think it was Sancho who gave him two opportunities. He put him through twice, Jadon. Once in the 72nd minute and once in the 86th minute. And both times Weghorst should have scored. And I'm not impressed with Weghorst's finishing. But his ability to hold the ball up, his work rate, he doesn't give... He's always running. And he doesn't give the defence a minute to breathe. And you don't understand how important that is. His ability to hold the ball up and bring others into play is actually quite underrated. I didn't think it would be that good. But he's got a good touch for a tall big man. He's not the slowest, but he's not the quickest either. But I want to see more. Is his ability to strike the ball I haven't really seen. He comes across as a bit slow in the box to react. A bit slow to shoot. His ability to strike the ball, he doesn't seem to have good or quick reflexes to strike the ball, you know? As in, you can see his shot coming from a mile away. You can see his foot recline backwards, about to strike a ball from 10 miles away, because he's not that quick of a footballer. His body movements is not that quick. So I haven't really seen much of his ability to finish. And when I have seen him try to finish, I haven't been impressed, let's be honest. So that's something. However, there's one thing I'm going to say about Weghorst, and the social commentary about Weghorst is the fact that people are starting to say, you know, he's not scored or anything, but what he offers off the ball is really good. I hope those people have that same energy for Martial. When Martial doesn't score, understand what the kid offers us off the ball. Understand that this Man United that we're seeing, at our best this season, we've always had Martial on the field, on the pitch. It's a shame that the kid can't be fit. It's a shame he can't be fit. Like, we've played him while he's been injured and we've broken him so much he can't stay fit. It's a shame, really. It's sad. It's sad. But imagine if he could stay fit and, you know, injury-free. But anyway, Weghorst came off. Sabitzer came off for Mainu. And the game has really fizzled out for me. But 3-0, it was a really good result. A good home win after the draw. Onwards and upwards, man. Like, we are now, I think, 4 points or something behind Man City. Or like we're not in a title race. We're just going to take every game as it comes, just like the manager says. I think we should win the Carabao Cup. I'm hoping to beat I think we should beat Barcelona at Old Trafford on Thursday. And yeah, in terms of the Premier League, we'll just be that guy in the background just doing our thing. Just minding our own damn business and doing our thing. Let them talk about title races and all these things. We're not on a title race. We're just trying to win games and secure top 4. Yeah? That's it. But that's how I saw the game. For me, it's interesting. For me, my man of the match would be for you, for us, for her, for he. I'm joking. I'm going to give it to Jadon Sancho. He only played one half of football, but when he came on the field, he did what needed to be done, and we just played so much better football. And on this channel, above anything else, I want to see good football. I want to see of course I want to see my team win titles. I want to see United win titles, but I want to see us also play good football. And I know that when we have a fit Jadon, a confident Jadon, a Jadon that's playing well, United are a different beast, a different animal. Get Anthony back, you know, I don't think we're not going to get Eriksen back this season, but this is the crunch time, so we need people like him. We need players like him to start pulling their weight, basically. Essentially pulling their weight. So, yeah, he's my man of the match, even though he only played one half. I'm going to give it to him. I was thinking Sabitzer. I like Sabitzer's performance today. I think he had a better game today overall. So I could have given it to him, to be honest. But I'm going to be slightly biased and give it to Sancho. But yeah, onwards and upwards. Let's keep winning games. Let's go, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. As usual, like, share, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you guys next time. If you're not